is true? What is true? What is true? True is love.
Good evening, everyone. Once again, I welcome you back to Truth, Honesty, and Transparency. It's your boy David, but it's not about me. It's about the Princess Goddess, Miss Kelja. How you doing this evening?
I am doing great. Hello, everyone, and I would like to thank everyone that tuned in to our inaugural episode. This is episode 2, and the topic is on fire. Thank you so much, Veep, for joining me for yet another show. I really do appreciate it.
It's the honor is mine. The honor is mine.
So once
So
again,
go ahead. I'm sorry. Go
go
ahead.
ahead. No, you go ahead. What you were about to say?
No. I was just saying, hey, we're here again. I had a lot of fun last week, so I'm definitely looking forward to what kind of shenanigans you might have this time. Of truth, I should say.
Okay. Well, as everyone know, that this is the podcast where we discuss some of the most obscure yet real topics. Is the podcast is called Truth, Honesty, and Transparency, and I would like to know, how honest are you about your truth, and how transparent are you about your intent? As you see, the wine that's in the cup today is red. So that means we're about to get into it. So, our topic tonight is about gender roles and exactly what they mean to you.
All
How do you
righty.
feel about that topic, Veep?
So how about this for the, as D-Ray says, uninitiated? Let's
Uh-huh.
have a understanding about the term gender roles.
Okay. So, So, gender roles are what you would perceive as your position, or should I say, place in relationships. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Roles in a relationship. Do you believe men have their roles, well as women have theirs as well? Now, I do believe that, but when it comes to gender, is there a clear cut, defined line as to how you position yourself in a romantic relationship?
Hmm. Okay.
How
Well,
does
I'm sorry.
No, how
Wouldn't
that
it?
topic okay, go ahead.
My bad. My bad. That's on me. If it's based on the individual, it could be different for every relationship. Wouldn't that be correct?
Yes, it is, because I'm not talking just about heterosexual. I'm
Okay.
talking, even though I did say man and woman, but it's gender roles period in same sex relationships as well. So it's in a fluid relationship, and it's also in heterosexual relationships as well. How this topic came about was I was talking to someone who I'm currently seeing. And he literally told me that he can tell that I have been a leader in the majority or my past relationships, or I'm used to being a leader. And I don't know what kind of energy that he got from me. But I would like to say that's not necessarily true. He did tell me that he's an alpha, so that's not going to happen. I have no idea what the hell that means, but hey, it is what it is.
Okay. Let's see here. Gooch says, "Nah." How would he get that idea?
Why don't you tell me, Gooch? How do you believe he got that idea?
Now, there's there's a point. I know some people wear that title alpha around their neck versus those that just walk alpha. They don't have to disclaimer I'm an alpha. So I don't know. I'm not a fan of that at all. But you know, just being who you are. If you're an alpha, so be it. If you're not an alpha, whatever.
Hmm.
I mean, if he you would know better than anyone else if he is an alpha or not.
I would, but that's not the point. What
Okay.
I'm trying to say is, I'm not understanding, where I guess for me, I get that men have been labeled with the roles of being the provider and protector. However, I do think that men take the point of being a provider too
Mhm.
literal for me, because in that instance, it's always about money. But for me, that's not what that means. It
Mhm.
is a shared, it's an actually shared responsibility, because for me, a provider means that you provide me with a sense of security. You
Right.
provide me with a sense of calm. You provide me with a sense of support. You provide me with all of the things that I have been looking for, that I know I have within myself, that I need that in my other person, in my person.
Mhm.
And as far as being protected, I just need to know that you're going to protect my heart and protect everything that I am providing to you. And you cherish that. So I guess I look at those words and that moniker to be different than what anyone else sees it as.
Right. I, again, in a situation like that, when I said it's individual, I
Mhm.
do in that. Like one couple, the man may feel, okay, I'm the sole provider, I want to provide, and so on. That relationship don't work out, and he gets with a go getter. Go getters are like, I got this. You know what I'm saying? It just depends on the individual, in my opinion. But
But
it is
I,
what it
I
is.
I get that. Hello, Mr. Producer. How are you?
Whew.
Welcome, my brother.
Hey, let me say, firstly, Spectrum sucks. But good to see y'all. Glad to be in the land of the living. Good to see you,
Welcome, sir.
your highness, and good to see
Thank
you,
you.
brother. And I'm just gonna take a few seconds to stop cussing in my mind. That's Kelja's brand, and I don't want
You
to.
Yeah.
know what it
I don't
is.
want to. I don't want to swerve in her lane. So let me get all them MFs and bastards out my system for a minute, and y'all continue.
No worries. No worries.
So but I'm looking at it from a broad perspective, like for same sex couples. It's the
Hmm.
same thing. Is it the one that has the dominant personality?
Hmm.
Are they the ones that take the lead? My thing of it is that whatever you're good at, that's when you come to the forefront. I don't That's the reason why I say gender roles really and truly doesn't matter. If the woman is the sole provider monetarily, that doesn't take away from you being a man and being the head of the household.
Right.
It's just that she's put in a position to be the monetary provider for
Right.
whatever reason, if that is something that they agreed upon, or if it's something that just happened through due to circumstances.
Well, I can't speak for same sex, just keeping it 100. But as far
Mhm.
as myself, you know, I'm open for whatever because I had relationships where it was like, you take care of this, I take care of that. Relationships where you take care of everything and I take care of this aspect. So I get it. But ultimately, that's where I'm like, it still depends on the individual. Even though men will try to category women, to be a certain way, or women may category men to be a certain way. Every individual is unique, in my opinion.
Okay.
I'll just jump in.
Go ahead.
I've
Go
been
ahead.
in situations where I've, well, first of all, I'm coming from the creative field, which means that, we're hustlers, right?
Hmm.
So until you got $1 million checks coming in every quarter, you're always on the grind. That is going to be, that's going to be opposite of what someone who works a 9 to 5 does. Now, that's fine sometimes when you're single, but when you are married to someone
Hmm.
and that person's mindset is 9 to 5 and your mindset is I'm a hustle, if the communication is not there, there's
Right.
going to be situations where the person that's working a 9 to 5 feels like they're going to be doing everything, right?
But do you
Hmm.
And
not,
go ahead.
sorry. No, but do you not feel that those expectations about who does what and put that exact That's the transparency part.
Mm-hmm.
How this relationship is going to go. I'm a hustler, you're a 9 to 5, or you want to move up in the corporate world, but I'm an entrepreneur. And be truly honest about how, from my end, being the entrepreneur, money is going to fluctuate.
Well, here's the transparency part, and here's the part where where some people don't want to accept the truth, right?
Yes.
The truth of the matter is, if you study business, you know that if you're starting any endeavor, it can take anywhere from 5 to 7 years for you to actually see a profit, and in some cases for you to even see money.
Yes.
You know what I mean? That is
Sure.
that is just the average. You can go through $1 million companies from the beginning of time, and for the first 5 to 10 years, they might not have made a dime. You know what I mean? And so the expectation of some people, like if you're working a 9 to 5 and you know, you work 40 hours, the expectation is I'm gonna get paid at the end of this week, right?
Mhm.
You
Mhm.
marry someone that's a creative, that's a hustler, I'm gonna get paid at the end of this week, but you know what? There better be some money at the end of whatever rainbow that you're trying to chase. You know?
But that's where the transparency, the honesty, and the truth, that's where all those topics come in.
Yeah,
But
but
as you said,
yeah.
but you have to be willing to. But okay, so I get what you're saying.
Mhm.
Saying it in theory is fine.
And
However,
that's what I'm
when-
getting at.
when the reality sets in,
Mm-hmm.
does that role switch? Because like I said, just because I am the sole breadwinner, because I have a 9 to 5, and that doesn't mean sole breadwinner. What I mean, just because I have a steady paycheck,
Mm-hmm.
9 to 5, and if you are going to be supportive, which in what I'm saying is become that provider, because now I'm providing support to my person.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing that I expect is for you, if this is what you're going to do it. See it through, because if I'm going to put in that level of investment, at some point in time, I'm going to want to see a return on my investment.
Okay, so let me start off by telling a story.
Mhm.
Years ago in a far, far land, I used to be an assistant manager to a hat store, right? So I had regulars that would come in. You know, they would always want they New York Yankee fitteds. You know what I mean? And I had regulars that would come in every other week, every paycheck. What's the new style? What's the new color? Blah, 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 blah. Well, I remember I had this one guy, he would come in and he was always, I guess he was a painter. So he always came in disheveled and whatever. And I remember him because he was a Tar Heel fan. And so every, NCAA tournament or whatever, or every game or whatever, he always came in, got a fresh Tar Heel hat. So it's about maybe a year and a half, 2 years into this, he came in and said, "Hey man, this is going to be the last hat I'm buying for a while." And I said, "Oh, what's going on?" He said, "Well, these past 2 years, I've been paying my wife's way through dental school, and she's graduated and now she's set up. And so now she's paying my way through law school."
But
Wow.
that's
And
what I'm saying.
hold on. Let me get to the punchline.
Oh,
I
okay. Get to the
ain't even
point.
got to the punchline yet.
Okay.
So, so I said, "Yeah, that's great, man. That's awesome. That's awesome." Now here's where some toes about to get stepped on. This was a white dude married to a white woman. I went back and told my girlfriend at the time, I was like, "You know what this dude just did? His girl said he could quit his job while she pays for his way through law school." And before I knew it, I was getting called all kinds of MFs and lousy bastards and what. It's like, but wait a minute, I'm the one with the job. All I did was tell you what transpired. And so on the flip side of that, I got a best friend who is a pharmacist. His wife is a pharmacist, right? So they ends is meeting like a mug, right? He wanted to quit his job to go to medical school because that's what he wanted to do, right? And like I said, their ends are meeting like a mug. She looked at him and told him, "Hell no, I'm not taking care of no man. I don't give a damn what you're doing," right?
Zoinks.
So the whole thing of truth and transparency is, and it really boils down to how you were raised, what your expectations are, and who you think that role or what you think that role actually means. You know?
Yes, I
So,
totally get that.
and so, like, I could sit up here and now on the flip side of that, she decided that she was going back to school to retrain or do whatever with her position.
Hmm.
She wound up going and getting like now a six-figure job somewhere, and they're getting divorced. So it's
Dang.
like, okay, you know. So I'll just
Well,
leave that right where it's at.
well, unfortunately, I can say without a shadow of a doubt that I have been in that situation, but on opposite ends. I dated someone, and then not 6 months into the relationship, he lost his job because my lease was becoming renewed. I mean, was ending at the time. I decided to move in to help him. So for 6 months, I did everything. With me, he literally got 3 certifications to make himself more marketable. I did not rush him. I literally said that the next job that you get, make sure that that's where you want to be, because job hopping. So I would rather you take your time than for this to become an occurrence. However, because the circumstances put me in a position to be the provider. Not that I wanted to be the man, but the circumstances put me in a position to be the provider. He felt some type of way because his identity was literally attached at the hip to his job. So in the end, once he literally got a job, it was time for me to exit stage left.
That sucks.
It is exactly what it is. So that's what I mean when I say sometimes roles are interchangeable, but it's the individual. Can you handle that if it actually happens? Where someone is now in a certain area, because there's certain things that I may know about that you don't. Does that mean at the time that you follow my lead because I'm well versed in that situation? Or do you just want to play it and screw it up, and then we got to clean it up on the back end?
Well, I mean,
Ego plays a
yeah.
whole part in that as well.
Yeah, in some aspect, and trust me, I'm certainly not debating you. I'm actually agreeing with you. I'm just giving you the perspective that I've seen, and the unfortunate parts of past relationships when I knew better.
Yes.
Right. I dated a girl years ago who her father did everything for her. He bought her a car. He paid her rent. He bought her clothes. He sent her money. He did all of that stuff, right?
Yes.
So the expectation was that when she got married, her husband was going to do the same thing. And regardless of whether or not she helped him or not, his job, his role was to help her. So hypothetically, I said one day, what would happen if I got sick? Would you take care of me? And her answer was no. Your mama
Yeah.
take care of you. You know what I mean? And so it's like, and I was thankful that she was that honest, because okay, at this point, I know you're not the one.
No doubt.
But it's the audacity of that truth that a lot of people really feel like whoever they're partnered with is supposed to take care of them in that fashion, and they're supposed to be willing to die for them. To not just die for protection. I'm supposed to die supporting you,
But
regardless. Yeah, go ahead.
That's no, regardless of what. Finish your statement. I didn't.
No, I was going to say, regardless of whether or not they're supporting me.
Yes. Okay. So I believe that is one of the issues. One of these things that has this particular topic so effed up is the prefix on it, gender. Now, roles are fine, but because those can be interchangeable. But it's the gender thing. Women, doesn't matter if you are literally in a heterosexual relationship or a same-sex relationship. The more dominant person is supposed to take care of the quote unquote the femme or the the more dominant person is supposed to actually take care of that person. So the stronger person is supposed to always be on top. However, that can't always happen. That can't always happen because the role as far as the lead and the supporting character, that's interchangeable at all times. And I don't understand situations like you just described where it's okay for a woman, regardless of the relationship that she's in, be it same sex or heterosexual, it's okay for the woman in that relationship to be out of work for 6 months or be out of work for a year. The man is supposed to hold it down. However, or the dominant person is supposed to hold it down. However, once those roles change, then the female in that relationship gets up in arms, and that's not the way that I was raised. I was raised that if you pick your person, you support your person to no end. Regardless, this is supposed to be a partnership, not where I literally take care of you, because this is not a dependent. You are your parents' dependent. In this situation, you're supposed to still be independent to a certain extent. We build together,
Right.
but you're not going. It's easier if we both carrying the load than from you sitting in the freaking wheelbarrow and me having to push that along with the bricks in order to build our foundation.
You know, I agree 100%. I was raised, you know, mainly by my grandparents, and my grandmother. My grandmother kind of trained me to avoid women that wanted to be taken care of.
Yep.
My grandmother was an entrepreneur. She was, you know, she also worked a 9 to 5. Until her health started getting her to the point that she couldn't do what her hustle was. She was a hairdresser. So, but she still did it, you know, every weekend when she could stand it. But yeah, you know, her philosophy was, you want somebody that if y'all in the ditch, your partner gonna get down there and help get you out. You know what I mean? Because 2 shovels are better than 1.
Right.
You get what I mean? But the whole idea of, oh, you know, you're gonna sit there and break your back all day and come home and there's nothing gonna be, you know, forget all of the housewife stuff. I'm talking about the women who you come home and all they got is shopping bags, and the dude still got to cook his own meal, or the sister still got to clean up the house. You know, that kind of thing. So that's where, you know, people start plotting plans and stuff. So,
but that's the reason why in the beginning you let someone know your level of expectations and standards on the situation. So
go ahead. I'm sorry.
Don't blindside me with your petty bullshit. Don't do that. Don't blindside me. Seriously, because what I'm saying is, don't pretend to be something that you know that you cannot actively be. What were you about to say?
I said, and here's where we come to the truth.
Yes.
The real truth, right?
When
you're meeting someone, even when you're dating them, hell, even when you marry them, you still don't really meet that real person until even 3, maybe 4 or 5 years after you're married to them, or after you're in a relationship with them. You're gonna always meet the stunt double. You're not gonna meet the actor, right? So the person can sit up there and say, yes, I want to do this. Yes, I want to do that. I have this, I have that, I have blah, 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 blah. But when the rubber hits the road, sometimes it's too late for you to figure out, like, oh shit, I done made a mistake.
Yes.
I done made a bad error.
So, Lori,
let's read this question real quick. I'll read it for you. Are we talking married couples or boyfriend/girlfriend stage? I believe the roles are different depending upon where the relationship stage is.
Thank you for the question, Lori.
Yes, thank you. So what I would say to that, Lori, is one, just like everything, is a foundation for the other. So in the girlfriend-boyfriend stage, it's not going to be all you be unicorns and rainbows. At that point, you literally find out exactly who your partner is, who your chosen partner is. And then that sets you up to whether or not you want to weather the storm in a marriage situation. Because some people date for, like me, I was dating for 1.5 years And then I found out that that's not the person that I want to go through the storm with, because the same thing that I was pouring into him, he wasn't pouring into me. So if we hadn't had that situation to actually clearly define and actually for someone to show up, his definition of who he was literally defined and attached and a chain to how much money that he made. And that made him feel some type of way, because when he couldn't, and I was telling him, it wasn't about the money for me. But however, if we hadn't went through those trials and tribulation, or that trial and tribulation during the boyfriend girlfriend stage, then hell, I could have been duped, and it would have been worse when we was married, because then we would have really had some type of soul ties and everything would have been a collective.
And and the worst part about this whole situation, whether you boyfriend girlfriend stage or whether you get married to the person, is when children get involved. When now you're dealing with another life form that you don't have any foundation on, you don't have any financial stability for, and now that's when the real truth comes out. You know what I'm saying? And so I guess the bottom line is you really got to be careful of who you're mating with, who your partner is, and you really got to start asking some tough questions, and no, not tough questions like
what's your favorite color?
What's your favorite position? What are you into and what are you not into? No. What is your retirement plan?
Thank you. What's your freaking credit score?
You know what I mean?
Like, what is
your HIV status?
Thank you. What's your financial acumen? Your financial.
How much debt do you have?
Thank you. It's like real things, but however, people put time limits on that. It's like, well, you can't ask me this until this certain time. Oh no, I'm gonna ask you that right now, now.
Hell, I can't.
Because if I can ask you whatever I want to. The thing of it is are you going to answer it truthfully, honestly, and truthfully? Are you going to be transparent that you are $150,000 in debt?
Woo!
Facts. Facts.
Oh, I just got a little bit.
But I'm just saying, I guess what screws up the role thing for me in relationship is the gender part. As a woman, you're supposed to be in this box. As a man, you're supposed to be in this box. And that is not, or as a dominant female, you're supposed to be in this part. And as the femme in the relationship, you're supposed to be in this part. Or the same thing. Like, that doesn't make sense to me. Are we teammates or not?
Right.
Are we striving for the same goals? And if that is the case, then let's devise a plan. And I will take on my responsibilities, you take on your responsibilities, and within that, we hold each other accountable. And if you can't do it, be transparent about it. If that is beyond your physical or mental acumen, if you are not that mental agile to get this task done, then let me know and maybe I can take over. So it's all about true, honest discussions as to really and truly what you want. What is the end game? What are we working towards? What are we working towards to become fruition at the end of all of this stuff?
Okay, so I'm about to throw a grenade in the conversation.
Blow it up. Blow it up. Do we have a bomb? Do we have a bomb effect?
We have a boom.
Yeah,
don't. Yeah, we need a boom effect next week. But here's the grenade. Do the rules change when you're dealing with a draft pick and a walk-on? Now, hear me out first.
I'm listening.
So the draft pick is the one that everybody say you need to be with. Your mama, your sisters, your girlfriends. He the one with the good hair. He the one that y'all gonna make pretty babies. He the one that, his daddy owned this, or his daddy slang drugs here, blah, blah, blah. That family got money. Ooh, whatever, right? He the one that every woman is after. Are the rules going to change for him, or the walk-on that he might have just finished high school and he cuts grass for a living, and now he's growing into a landscaping business. Now he's doing this, but he cuts grass for a living. Are the rules going to change of what you are willing to? And I'm gonna put this out there for the people in the audience. what your expectations are for the lottery pick, or what your, does it change for the lottery pick or the walk on, the one that has to earn their spot?
Okay, so I look at both. The one that has to earn their spot to me is more of a prospect, only because he's already putting in the work now to build up his own. And if he's willing to, now this is the turn. The question becomes, is he willing to put that same investment that he's putting into himself into the situation, into you guys' situation? Now, the lottery pick can be, what was his name? Jamarcus, whatever the whole Raider thing was, and he was supposed to be the next thing, and he became a bust. That quarterback, what was his name? Jamarcus
Russell. Mm-hmm.
Jamarcus Russell. Him. He was a lottery pick. He was a top draft. In fact, Al Davis literally leveraged the farm for him. And he could not produce. I get he had other things going on, but he literally could not produce. He could not show up. So that's his family's money. That's not his money. The lottery pick. That's his family money. That's not him. But what is his integrity? What is he willing to do? Because his family having money has made him comfortable. So his expectations may be unrealistic and delusional as to the person that he wants. I don't give a damn if you make pretty babies, but they can be some retarded. I'm sorry.
Oh, and before we hit the blast artist of the week, I forgot to say the walk-on might not be as attractive as the lottery pick, right? So there's another thing.
I have to watch my mouth. Yes, I do. Yeah, there can be some stupid babies. How about we just?
Oh no! I remember, what's that old joke I used to hear? There ought to be a law against dumb children. If you want to find out why they dumb, follow a dumb kid home and see if two dumb people open the door or something like that.
Yes, but all I'm saying is,
wow.
Let's just go to the artist of the week, because this topic is a little bit deeper, and I threw myself off by having to pull myself back.
And I'm not used to that. That's scary. What the hell were you gonna say?
I had to stop at the R word because it's not. It's no longer. It's not PC. So politically correct. So I was about to say, but then I stopped after I had already said the word. So
my girl Lori says she'll take a walk on.
See, thank you, because that's what I'm saying.
Build together. Yeah.
Yes, but the question with that, Lori, is the question comes. Because I've dated not so attractive men. It wasn't about that. It was about, honestly, the amount of investment, and I don't even call it sacrifice, because I do believe that word for me has a negative connotation, because if someone is sacrificing in a relationship, then someone is losing. Now, unless we're gonna sacrifice together as a unit, but someone is losing and someone else is winning. I'm not about to sacrifice who I am or shrink myself just for my partner to get ahead. That's not gonna happen. But as Lori stated, I'll take the walk on, because he has that level of work ethic that we need to build. But is he willing to take that to invest into us?
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
All right.
Don't read that. Why you put that up there? Why did you? And now that is the example of that child that we were talking about. Don't put it.
Play the artist.
So tonight we got Elijah Rosario. He's our blast artist of the week, and this is Friends That Benefit.
Damn. Elijah Rosario, Blast Artist of the Week. I love that track. Don't Lie to Me. That's a very appropriate song for this show. Your black ass lie to me.
Just don't. And what I don't understand as adults, why do some continue to lie for no reasons? I mean, like, we are not your parents. Either you're very insecure with oneself or you're unsure of oneself. Those are two different things. You're either unsure of how someone is going to react to your truth, or you don't even know what the hell your truth is.
You know what? And if I had to pick, I would say not knowing what your own truth is probably 60 to 70% of it. But then the fear of what someone else is going to say about your truth. You know what I mean?
Yes.
You know, because if you have unfulfilled expectations of yourself, it's almost like it's almost like there's a ticking time bomb in the chest of your soul, man. At some point, it's going to explode. You know, that whole idea of where am I living my life? What am I doing? What am I here for? What lane am I supposed to be in? And we sometimes misunderstand that as, what job am I supposed to do? How much money am I supposed to be making? What kind of house am I supposed to be in? What kind of car am I going to be driving? And what does my partner supposed to look like? Because sometimes my partner is my status symbol. Sometimes it's, I need to be with a woman that looks like I'm supposed to be looking, or vice versa. You know what I mean? And so I agree with you what you said, but I think those two are the main things: not knowing your truth and being afraid of what people are going to think about your truth.
Well, all right then. There we have it. I guess it's so much to unpack with this topic.
Facts, especially this week, especially with everything that's going on, especially with, you know.
Please don't say it.
You know,
Please do not say
the only thing I'm gonna say, from now on, I'm gonna refer to it as Slapgate, right? But
Slapgate is what we're gonna.
That's what I'm gonna refer to it as.
Slapgate. Okay.
Yeah.
But there's a prime example.
Right. Exactly.
There's a prime example.
Yeah, go ahead.
As what you're supposed to do, or what is deemed that is acceptable by society, and what you're supposed to do to protect your mate. Be it, like I say, I have to backtrack just a little bit. I know of when Veep was here and he exited stage left, when he was like, he can't speak for same gender relationships. However, I can. In a situation, because I have a strong personality, and because I will be considered a dominant in that situation, I'm supposed to do everything. But guess what? The fuck I will. This is a us thing. This is a us thing. Now I'll support you and support your dreams all day long. But what you will not do, and what you cannot do, is ride my coattail. And even though what we build together, it's ours, but you have to be an equal contributing partner. Yes. As I don't know which group says this. Yes, at some point in time, everybody plays the fool, and I've did that. Not my past situation. I refuse to do that again. Period. Actions truly speak louder with words, because people can tell you anything. However, their actions will actually show you their intent and show you what they rather do.
That is a fact. And a lot of, I think back to what Maya Angelou would say: when someone tells you who they are, believe them. A lot of times, and I would just say, and I'm gonna just speak on me. I'm not gonna, speak for nobody else. I'm just speak for my almost 50 years on the planet. there have been times where I have backed myself in the corner because, hey, I want a girlfriend. I want some, I want some company. I want to, I don't want to be by myself or whatever. And
Mhm.
so there have been times that I have hidden my own truth from people. You know what I mean? That I did not say, well, yes, I want to produce music all my life. Yes, I do want to just sit on the beach and compose music. That is my life goal. That is my retirement, whatever. I didn't want to bring that up because, there was a time where everybody named grandmama was a producer. All you had to do was a laptop and a cheap program, and now you're a producer. So there was a time that I hid that because for a woman, when a woman hears that someone wants to be creative, and then this is my opinion, and please, tell me what you think about this. When a woman hears that a man wants to be creative with his life, I think depending upon her background, her experience, and where she's coming from, the signal she hears is not that he wants to be creative. The signal that she hears is he wants to be kept, right? And so I want to be an artist, right? But Negro, all you want to do is sit around and paint pictures all day.
Okay, but the thing of it is
Mhm.
that's if she is that's where follow-up questions come in. And
Facts.
that is okay, so what's your plan to execute that? Because it doesn't matter if you want to be
Right.
creative or if you want to be in the corporate America. You literally and truly have to have a plan for everything. So what's your plan and what's your benchmarks? I need to know your short-term, mid-term, and long-term plans in order to make that happen. Are you thinking every day?
Right. Mhm.
Or are you producing every day? Are you out there comping the industry?
Right.
But let me ask you this.
Hmm.
It's sticking to the topic, which is what you were doing. But do you believe that when things shift from what a man believes he's supposed to be in the relationship, be a provider or a protector, when that role shifts, do you believe that's a hit to his ego?
Yeah.
Because I know for a fact that in the LGBTQ world, because I'm the B in that,
Hmm.
when it shifts, the person that is literally the dom in that situation, it does take a hit to their ego.
Yeah. Absolutely. Because nobody, nobody wants to have everyone know what their kryptonite is. Especially if you're a dominant person who is accustomed to being Superman, right? Nobody wants to know that you have kryptonite. Nobody
But it,
wants to know that what your weakness is, and whether the tables turn, whether you get laid off, whatever happens, nobody wants that. And so, yeah, that's gonna take a hit to your ego. Absolutely.
but I would think that if you have a solid partner who's willing, and it's not even carrying you, who is willing to bridge that gap, that should be a less blow on either side. Because it's expected, no, listen, it's
I feel you.
expected that when that shift occurs, that the dominant partner in there is supposed to pick up the slack.
Right.
But when the dominant person is down and the beta person has to now bridge that gap, why? Because that's what you signed up for.
Right.
So it's easy to say that that's your expectation. I want someone to support me, but then when the support needs to actually be put in play, you need to press play to that. Why does that hurt so much? That's what you said you wanted, and now you got it. Why do you feel some type of way about it?
Hmm.
That is the contradictory bullshit that I'm talking about. Don't
Absolutely.
say you want one thing and then you literally get it
Right.
and it happens, and now you start crying, woe is me.
Right. And we see that happen all the time.
I saw it. I lived that.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I have
Because
too. I've seen it. Yeah.
think about this. During the courting phase, it
Hmm.
was all of this stuff. And I'm telling you, because this is my show, I can't deviate from the title. Because mind you, those are my 3 pillars. Before I even thought about doing a podcast, that's one of the things that I told the person, that truth, honesty, and transparency are what I stand on. Don't bullshit me, don't lie to me. And with that comes a level of where I know where I stand with you and I can maneuver accordingly. So what I'm telling you is that, yeah, if I'm in, I'm in. If I'm for you, I'm for you. If I'm not, then fuck you where you stand. I don't give two shit. And I literally will prove that I literally don't give two shit. But there's nothing that you can throw at me if I'm with you that is going to make me shift or make me want to, do a crossover on you to literally say that, nah, I'm not ready for that. Because that's just the person who I am. That's how I was raised.
Mm-hmm.
That if you choose this person and you tell this person you're going to be there, then damn it, do that.
Mm-hmm.
However, when it was all about, dates and all this other stuff. But when he couldn't provide that, is when he got in his head. But I'm like, I told you in the beginning that I believe in romance in my person too.
Mm-hmm.
Which means that if we're going to go out on dates, we're going to go out on dates. But it was a complete 180. All I'm saying is stop telling people that you're ready for shit if you're really not ready for it. Because it sounds good in theory.
Right.
But when the shit hits the fan and reality sets in, that literally exposes who you really are at the core and at the essence of you. If you have a weak... Go ahead.
No, right. And let me ask a question that I'm hoping is going to expand what you're saying.
Yes.
Is it that the person was there, the person understood the assignment, for lack of a better term, but it's the outside influences that person is listening to that starts saying, hey, because I got family members that'll tell me in a minute, you the man, you're supposed to be you're supposed to do this, you're supposed to do that, or you smart, you got a degree, you got a master's. What the hell? You know what I mean? And so what do you talk to, that person? And don't get me wrong, just like Mike Tyson said, everybody got a plan until you get hit in the mouth. You could be married, making $200,000 a year, living in a great neighborhood, kids in a great school, whatever, and the stock market crashed, the housing market crashed, your job goes away. Next thing you know, y'all in the hood applying for food stamps. But the thing of it has happened, yeah. So
yeah, but I guess my thing of it is that it was good while it's good, but it seems like it's more of the adversarial things that tear people apart. Facts. Because when it's good, that's easy, But when who you are comes into question, is when you start questioning the things that you have built. And to answer your question, he didn't have no damn friends, so there was no outside influence. He was just stupid, just to be being stupid.
Wait a minute. Wait. Now, I've only known you about 3 weeks, but I feel like we're family. Yeah. So I'm gonna ask you this question, like a big brother would, right?
Go ahead.
Are you still bitter?
No, I'm not bitter at all, because when it hurts, I would cry. I'm not bitter. That's what I'm saying. Like it's something that happened and something that I learned from. And no, I'm not the type of person, and I never have been, because if that was the case, let's just put it to you like this. If that was the case, then he would have been held accountable for things other people have done. And I didn't do that. Your transgressions are your transgressions. I don't carry the one. I don't carry over. So the person I'm talking to now, he is not responsible for what happened to me in the past. But however, we're going to pause for effect. I know to ask different questions right now.
Oh, boy.
So what I'm saying is each situation is a lesson learned. And I'm not bitter at all, because I can joke about it. Was I his sugar mama? You damn right I was. And it happens. Some tend to make the mistake in investing in the wrong person. And I was fully invested.
Now, and once again, I'm not judging anybody, but just me as a man, me sitting at home knowing that I could actually contribute. I don't care if I got a broke foot and I can't walk and I'm on disability. I'm going to find some way to make it happen. I'm going to find some way. You know what I mean?
Yes, and I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
And vice versa. I made that statement. I'm like, you know what? The last thing that I'm going to do is let us capsize. Facts. So if I have to go and get a part-time job, even if I'm making 6 figures.
Right.
If I have to go get a part-time job or do a hustle that's gonna bring in an additional 50 grand in order for us to stay afloat, then that's what the hell I'm gonna do.
Right. Now, what you're really, really hoping, and what you're hoping that all of your questions and all your preparations, you're hoping that person has that same hustle, that same thing. Because if that happens,
but that's the thing. When they tell you that at the beginning, and this is where I said that truth, honesty, and transparency matters. But what screws everything up is the stupid freaking concept, this construct of freaking gender roles. And it's the gender that's freaking the roles up, because roles are interchangeable. And when you really truly look at it, roles as a role, it could be acting too. Because isn't that what you get when you play a part in a movie? It's a damn role.
That is the truth.
So
that is the truth.
So, but it's the gender part for me that gets me, that makes it questionable to some point. And I don't mean questionable to the fact of you question the part that you play. I mean questionable as to what you expect from a person as a female, or as a male, or as a man, as a woman. You only expect me to handle this part of the thing. But if your foot is broke, then I, in turn, and you've been mowing the grass for I don't know how long, and we don't have a ride mower, we don't have a push mower, and if we can't afford to hire a landscape, who the hell is gonna get out there and push that damn mower? Me. But you have to be able to actively sub in. Right. If he isn't working, or if the dominant person in that situation isn't working, and now the other person is working in the situation, and you are at home, but you know, you're used to me cooking all the time, and now if I'm working, now it's time for you to freaking cook. It's time for you to get up and get the kid ready. It's time for you to do the things, because now you're making it easier. The household still has to run, or the situation still has to play it forward. Right. And either I can do a monologue by myself, or this can be a table for two. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Facts. And you know, we want to be transparent. I'll be transparent. Yes. You know, I've been an entrepreneur in my daughter just got back home. She's out of town. So it's on now. It's the really real has returned. Okay. But I've been an entrepreneur now in earnest going on 2 years. When the pandemic hit, I worked overnight. I was a night manager at a hotel. And you know, when the pandemic hit, I had to figure out some things. And so now it's like you know, it's like, hey, I got this master's, I got this MBA. Let me figure it out. You know, I got the opportunity. And so building businesses, building revenue streams, doing whatever. But here's the rub. And you know what? And I'm going to say this so Kelja can go ahead and tell me off so that my wife will be happy. I hate washing dishes.
That's what a dishwasher is for.
But see, hold on. And we don't have time to go into our struggle.
Okay, no.
But what happened was we moved into a house. We came from a house that had a dishwasher that I didn't mind loading up the machine because the sound of the dishwasher was calming to me.
So now we have manual dishwasher.
Now we have manual, right? And I hate it.
Okay, but you like to eat though, right? So if you don't want to wash dishes, then how about we just get paper plates? We can waste money on takeout and paper plates, or we can cook a meal that's gonna last us a couple of days. And if I'm gonna cook, the cook doesn't wash. So tell your wife that I'm really on your ass about it. So ass in there. I don't give a damn if you have to pull up a stool or whatever and wash the damn dishes.
I hate it.
But the thing of it is that, how about you supplement it? Get paper plates and forks and cups and glasses so you can throw that away, which you are literally littering the environment, global warming, and then all you have to do is wash the food, the cookware. That's it. All you have to do is wash the dishes that the food was cooked in.
And you know, and I will say this: I could care less about gender roles because I'm not going to sit here and tell my wife that that's women's work. You know what I mean?
I believe if you did say that, I don't think you would have a missus. If
Oh,
you
I
ever
would.
came to your
I
wife
would,
and
but
you think so?
but I would have to also use my Neo Matrix skills. But
All I'm saying is
yeah,
that, but I believe that's one of the things that literally cripples relationships.
hold on,
Married, go
hold
ahead.
on, Shamika. I just publicly said on national TV that I hate washing dishes, and the co-host is actually wanting me to tell you that she's chewing me out about it.
Thank you.
You're welcome, darling. Yes, he's gonna wash those dishes, or he can literally eat out of a garbage bag. Mhm. But
You-
so oh shoot, you made me lose my dishes.
Emily says dishes suck. Cook or clean. Pick one. Takes turns. Share the
Hey,
Share the
load.
load. Thank
Yeah.
you, Emily. Thank you so very much. It matters. The cook doesn't clean. So if your wife, what's her name, Shaniqua?
Shamika.
Shamika. If Shamika is going to prepare a wonderful meal for you, then Sir D-Ray, the producer, you need to produce and bust those suds. Okay? Produce some dishwater and bust those suds.
How many minutes we got left?
We don't.
What
This went
what
by
exactly?
so fast.
Because you know, the Facebook user that known as Carlos Big Los said, "Uh-oh."
Oh,
So,
tell Los I said hello. But I guess one
but
thing that I feel
yeah, go
that
ahead.
cripples relationship are these preconceived notions and prehistoric and antiquated defined roles, because as the world goes, that's right, Emily. As the world goes, is that it's easier with two. It's already said two heads are better than one. However, if I have to, then I will just be by myself.
You know, see, Facebook user says I would say something, but never mind. See, I know what your never mind is, because see, your wife is named Shamika too. Ain't that right?
All I'm saying is that we really need to truly sit back and realize how some of the things that worked in the past doesn't work for this this newfound world that we're living in. And it's better if it's two. It's also better if we understand who we are totally going into these situations and what you expect, and be truthful and honest about them. Because as I said before, I can always be honest without telling the truth. And I can only give you a glimpse of my expectation, but not be totally transparent about my intent.
That's a fact. That's an absolute fact. You know, and a lot of times, you know, with that truth and with your perspective, we got to make sure that we not only are hearing our partner, but we're also listening, because we have the ability to let that sound come in our ears and go right out the other side.
That is totally true. I've always tell people when they say, I hear you, I'm like, bitch, you can hear because you're not deaf. But are you listening to me?
That's a fact.
Just like you can talk because you're not mute, but are you actually actively participating in the conversation? Does your words string together and does your sentences have merit? So don't come to me with that shit that you can hear me. Bitch, I'm not speaking sign language.
Hey, this was fun. I'm hoping I get invited back. I get the feeling that you're going to have a meteoric rise. So I hope I
thank you.
Come back.
So very much, and you should be back next week.
We shall see.
We shall see. You don't think so?
Hey, you know, we got to see what's in the Blast budget. You know, we launching Blast Radio 247 on April 1st. So you just never know.
And how about you let everyone know? How about we promote the actual next podcast and the podcast that we have for tomorrow? Go ahead and let them know what the Blast family has in store for them.
Absolutely. So after this episode, you know, we're going to have Blast, which is on YouTube, Facebook, and it's going to be the fellas, Veep, Rock, and unfortunately DJ Gooch, as they talk about, you know, independent artists.
You know what? The fact that Blast Media as a whole has a charity program that reach out to Special Olympic kids. That that right there is that.
The views and topics of this show do not.
I'm just saying because I didn't know that we were doing charitable work. But hey,
That's so funny. But tune in for Blast, which is going to be immediately after this show. Also, tomorrow we have Blast of Laughs featuring Carlos Biglos Massey and myself as we talk about what some of the funny things that have occurred this week. I give you 2 guesses on what we're going to talk about tomorrow night. And once again, Friday, we're launching Blast Music Radio 247. So be on the lookout for that. How you want to close us out, Princess Goddess?
So I really do appreciate you guys coming in, but understand that these topics are actually thought-provoking. They are meant to not offend, but to actually transcend, to put a level of understanding in your mind so that way you can move forward with the whole view and not just a 180 view. So we're going to take this thing 360.
Peace. You have a good one.
What is true? What is true? What is true? True is love.